So if you want to see a movie with a really great idea, but not enough budget to pull it off, then this is the movie for you. Hey guys, welcome to Happy Wax TV. So I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't gonna do a review on this movie, but over the last day or so, I've had a few of you, actually quite a few of you, ask me if I've seen this movie and what I thought about it. And I thought, you know what, instead of just responding through Messenger and whatever, I'll just do a quick video on it. So the movie is called The Shasta Triangle. I saw the trailer for it. It didn't really do anything for me, and I thought I'll just pass on this movie. I watch a ton of movies, as you guys probably know, and I don't do a review actually on I don't know, I'd probably say half of the movies I watch. Do you know what I mean? It's just sometimes you watch movies and you're like, why bother? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no point. And unfortunately, like, I was just thinking to myself when I was watching this, I was like, it's a real shame because the idea that's behind this movie is killer. It's just they had nowhere near the budget to pull this off. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why make this movie now? Like, why not wait and get a bigger budget so you can actually tell your story properly? But and the one thing that did it really kind of entice me about this film is it's and I knew this as we got into it. It revolves around like phenomenon, you know what I mean, like portals into other dimensions. And then the big thing now that's really taken off is these trumpeting sounding booms that are happening all over the planet, and they're a real thing. Check out Secure Team's YouTube channel. I mean, he talks about this stuff all the time. So when I found out that movie was kind of like this, then I thought, okay, we'll give it a watch. Do you know what I mean? But as I was watching, I was like, you know, maybe they should have held off. You know what I mean? Just to wait and maybe get more money for it. And I'll get into that in a minute. But anyways, it's directed, written, and produced by Barry Levy. I mean, look him up on IMDb. This guy is huge in Hollywood, not only as an actor, but I think he's got like 8 or 9 directorial, attempts under his belt. A lot of them are short films. I think he did a couple episodes for a TV show, but I think this is his first full-length movie, and it's not even really a full-length movie. I mean, it is, but I mean, it's only an hour and 14 minutes long, which really does help this movie move along. Okay, but I'll get into that in a few minutes too. So, and then very quickly, it stars Danny Lennon as Paula. She's kind of the main star, and then Anya, I hope I said it, Anya Berkshire as Sam. She's kind of like I think she's the sheriff in this town, and then Deborah Lee Smith. And there's some, I'll tell you, the acting, this is a movie revolving just around women pretty much. And the acting in this movie is really, really good. And it saves it, because I'll tell you, the effects in this movie are terrible, but the acting does save it. You know what I mean? If there's a positive to this movie at all. But basically, quick little synopsis. Paula, she grows up, her dad's a scientist of some sort, and he disappears 24 years ago, but he leaves this book behind with these clues to like teleportation and portals and dimensions and cryptic, kind of messages that need to be deciphered and all this sort of stuff. So she's been hunting for him. I think she was 7. I think that's what she said when he finally disappeared. And she's been hunting for him ever since, and it leads her to, or I guess back to her town in California of Shasta, California, right? So then her and a bunch of her friends get together, and then there's like a newswoman who gets involved because she has apparently got another version of the book in her hand. And I don't want to give like spoilers away for this movie, because they do try at the end to kind of give like a surprise ending and stuff. But I mean, from the trailer that you're dealing with like portals opening up to other dimensions and these sonic booms, you know what I mean, or these trumpeting booms, and it goes on throughout this movie when they're in this wooded area. There's not a lot of locations in this movie. It's pretty much the front entrance of the forest, inside the forest, and then at the end there, there's like, very, very quickly, they're outside of it in another area. But more or less, it's like one location, this whole movie. I'm just going to be honest, this movie to me felt, and this movie may have been this, I don't know. It almost felt like they made this movie to kind of sell it to like Netflix or Hoodoo or somewhere to buy the rights, in the idea of this movie, and then remake it with a proper budget into the story, because the story is cool, but I mean the final product of this movie is not very good. I mean, like I was turned off by the trailer just because the special effects in this movie, and I get it, low budget, zero budget. I mean, you guys know I love Cosmos, zero budget, but the effects that they used in that movie were killer. Okay, the effects they use in this movie, God honestly, I've used them in my show intros before. They're just all they did was just rip off free green screen stock of like swirls and like like flashing lights and these blue kind of smoky booms. Like it was almost comical. You know what I mean? Like it honestly looked like a grade 9 class project where they said just take a couple weekends, go out and make yourself a movie. That's what this movie felt like. I mean, the effects were fucking terrible, and I don't care what the budget was on this movie. I mean, go watch a YouTube channel called Film Riot, okay? Because these guys have made their name over doing these type of effects, and these guys literally do these effects for like one show. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, but their effects that they do in the show are even better than the effects in this movie. So I don't know, like, I don't want to be insulting, but I don't know who did the effects for this movie, low budget or not, but they're fucking terrible. They're absolutely terrible, and it takes you right out of the fucking movie. It's sad because the idea behind this movie is great, but like, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking when you sat down at the end of this movie and said, yep, those special effects, they look fucking awesome. We're going to go with those. I mean, a 10-year-old with iMovie could have done a fucking better job with the special effects on this. I'm like, holy fuck, even on a zero budget. So anyways, unfortunately, that's just the case. I mean, you've got a great story, really good idea, really cool idea, and you've got, some pretty spot on acting by these ladies. But the special effects, like, why would you try and make a movie of this scale on this micro budget? It just doesn't work. It almost looked like a sci-fi movie. You know what I mean? Like on the Sci-Fi Channel, it was that bad, and it's really a shame. So I don't know. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm going to stop here. I don't know if they just made this to kind of get the idea out there and then hope that somebody bigger comes along. Like I said, like Netflix or somebody and picks this up and then redoes it properly, and makes an awesome movie out of this story. So really what they should have done was made a 10-minute short film, which they could have easily done with this movie, and then shopped it around proper instead of selling this as a full-length feature, because there's no way that this is going to hold up. If you think I'm over-exaggerating, watch this flick. Honestly, a lot of you guys wanted to know my opinion on it. Again, with any movie, whether it's the shits or it's the best movie ever, I mean, watch it, and then you can, make your own opinion on it. And then if you want, come back and leave comments and tell me I'm either a dumbass and don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm spot on the money. But usually, I'm blowing my own horn here, but I think I'm right more than I'm wrong. So anyways, check this movie out. It's called The Shasta Triangle. Great idea, pretty cool acting, but just terrible fucking effects for a movie that they tried. Like, I mean, for God's sakes, there's a scene at the end where they have these laser blaster things. I don't want to give too much. All they are is spotlights. They're just like, they didn't even try and dress them up. Like, I'm like, what? This is a fucking high school project. So anyways, please watch this movie though, just so you can see I'm not over exaggerating. Yeah, and if you have seen it, leave me some comments. If you haven't, please go watch it. It's on video on demand. You can get it anywhere. Yeah, and then come back and let me know if I'm right or wrong about this one. So anyway, Shasta Triangle. Yeah, until next time, guys, stay scared.